What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Greatly appreciate it. If you could, please hit the like button and subscribe button to stay up to date with all of my future Teachable Tuesday videos. And I want to let you guys know right now, this is the penultimate video of the Skate Life Series 2.0. First of all, before I even get into the video, like I said in my last video, I just want to say thank you to all my new subscribers. Really appreciate it. Thank you to all the old subscribers who have been rocking with us for so long. As the recording of this video, we are over 350 subscribers. So we are clearly making our way to that 500 to 1,000 goal by the end of this year. So if you're watching this video and you're not currently subscribed, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and click that button to stay up to date with all of my Teachable Tuesdays content. Even though this is a roller skating video that we're about to talk about, I do motivational content in general. So if that tickles your fancy, you might want to go ahead and stay tuned. All right. Without further ado, this is going to be the advice video. Now, these advices came from Instagram. Shout out to all my Instagram people. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's ACT Real MC, by the way. And you guys gave a lot of advice. So I'm going to kind of paraphrase some of these, and I'm going to do them in different orders, because if I don't, this video is going to be about 30-40 minutes. I'm going to kind of combine some things just to kind of make it make sense. Without further ado, the first piece of advice that was given, this is for roller skaters, but I think this could also be applied for skaters in general, regardless if you're an ice skater, longboard, skateboarder, whatever, right? The first thing is to stretch, all right? Make sure you stretch. I've talked about it on numerous videos. I talked about it on workout videos. Stretching is very essential. Stretching is very key. And the reason it is because it not only can prevent injuries, but it makes you a bit more flexible when it comes to skating, especially if you're doing specific styles that require a lot of movements. Stretching helps, all right? And, you might get sore from skating later on. It's natural, it happens, but you won't be as sore or as in pain later on if you stretch properly. And plus, you might find yourself doing some more things that you never thought you could do. I would recommend doing like a yoga stretch before skating. Nothing too long, maybe about 10 minutes before you leave the house to go outside skating or go to a rink skating. That's what I've been trying to put into my routine. Even if I'm just skating at my basketball court outside, I try to stretch about 5 to 10 minutes. Really, open up your hips. Stretch them legs, even stretch your arms. A lot of y'all be like, stretch your arms, why? Because I'm skating. I say that because there are certain movements that you do with your arms and it'll really help out. Trust me. Second piece of advice that was given is don't give up. Now, this is not just for my beginners. And I should have made this clear at the beginning of the video. This is not just advice video for beginner skaters. This is for everyone, right? I mean, obviously some will cater more so to beginners than others, but, in the general sense. But don't give up. All right, especially for my beginners out there. It might seem hard at first. It might seem complicated. It might seem like, well, God darn, I'm trying to do the best that I can to make sure I'm pushing and so on and so forth. No matter how hard it gets, keep pushing through, okay? Even when it gets tough, trust me, it will be well worth it in the end, okay? Don't compare yourself to other skaters, okay? This is a little bit for everybody, right? You're always going to see somebody that's a better skater than you. You're always going to see somebody that can do something that you can't. Don't make that comparison. Now, can you use that as like a baseline to a level where you want to get to? That's perfectly fine. But don't be saying, oh, he's so much better, she's so much better. Excuse me, sorry about that. At the end of the day, we all have our own lane, right? I know for me personally, I am a very slow learner. I've always been. When it comes to sports, when it comes to academics, when it comes to music, anything, I'm a very slow learner, okay? But the one thing I can tell you is once I got it, in the words of Kanye West, you can't tell me nothing. Just saying, okay? So stay in your lane, work with what you got, and kind of just go from there. When you compare yourself to others, that's kind of that's not fair to yourself, if you will, okay? Have fun and be consistent. I think that's self-explanatory. At the end of the day, you go skating to have fun. You work out, you have a good time with friends, or even by yourself. Either one is cool. And just be consistent with it. Try to practice at least at minimum once a week. I know I've been skating it all this week, so I definitely need to make some time to go. Or at the very least, if you can't go skating, do some skating drills, which I might post a video about in the future. Just something to kind of keep you going. Because if you want to get better, consistency is key. Don't be afraid to ask for help. That was the next piece of advice. Now, obviously, this is for my beginner skaters, but this is definitely also for my advanced skaters, because I think sometimes we can become a bit prideful and, think, oh, we got so much better that we... No. Like I said before, you can always get better. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to, let people know, hey, could you help me out with this? I have plenty of skate fam. Well, shout out to skate fam, by the way, who, if I need help with middle work, I go to my homegirl, Nicole, right? If I want to work on some NYNJ stuff, I'll probably go to Shay. You know what I'm saying? If I want more information about Cali style, even though I'm probably not going to practice that style no time soon, I probably go to Slim, right? There's people that I know that are really good in what they do, that if I need to reach out, I will most certainly reach out. If I want to go, practice snap, I'll reach out to my boy Mike or my girl Xavier, right? Things like that. If I want to, get some, tips with Cleveland freestyle, reach out to my Cleveland fam, So, yeah, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to seek people out. If you need help, don't be prideful, okay? It's okay to need help. It's okay. Stay away from drama. That was the next piece of advice. Yes, couldn't agree more. There's drama in everything, all over the world, everywhere. Stay away from it. As I always tell my students, and I tell my friends and my family, I stay black. I'm on my black business, and I go about my way. And that's what you should do too. Bend your knees. This is more so for my beginner skaters. Bend your knees. All right. When you go on skating, and you kind of your knees kind of like this. You know what I'm saying? It's not good, okay? You're not getting any momentum, and you got to loosen up. Skating is loose, you know what I'm saying? In two ways, both the figurative and literal way. The figurative way is loose because it's a lot of fun. The literal way is, you're supposed to be riding loosely. See, like that? You know what I'm saying? Like that, you know what I'm saying? So you can't ride along loose if you're stiff. So you got to bend your knees. That will help give you momentum, and that will help you as you get better and do different techniques, different maneuvers, different moves, different styles, if you get into that, so on and so forth, okay? Someone said, as an artistic skater and jam skater, my advice is to never doubt your abilities. First of all, shout out to my jam skaters and my artistic skaters out there. I know we haven't done too many videos for y'all, but big ups to y'all. Artistic skaters and jam skaters are amazing. And yes, I agree with that 100%. Never doubt your abilities. A lot of times, y'all be thinking you only but so good and not realizing you are better than you think you really are. All right? Don't doubt yourself. I'm not saying be cocky, but if you know that you have a certain ability that you're really, really good at, dog, just keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Don't doubt yourself. Keep it moving. Don't skate and date. Not going to go too deep into that. I just did a whole video about that. If you want to check it out, check out the playlist, Skate Life Series 2.0 playlist, and you'll see it there. So I'm going to leave it at that. Take constructive criticism without being offended. That kind of ties back to what I was just talking about before, as far as don't being afraid to ask for help, right? Again, there's always something that, one of us can improve on. With that being said, since we know there's something that we can improve on, we also are aware that there are some things in which we might need to tighten up on, and that's perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? When you ask for help, be open to the feedback. Or if somebody approaches you and says, hey, why don't you try it this way? Now, I know a lot of times we don't like unsolicited advice, and I get it. And if that doesn't apply to you and you feel like you're doing the right thing, all right, cool. But if somebody legit comes to you and says, hey, can I talk to you about something? I went up to skaters and said, regardless if they were beginner or advanced, I said, hey, can I holler at you for a second? When you do this, did you ever think about maybe trying this, right? You know what I'm saying? And also to my people who are giving advice, especially if it's unsolicited, just make sure how you approach people, because, if you go up and talk rash to somebody, they're not going to take it well. So it goes on both ends. So you got to be able to take constructive criticism well, but if you're giving the constructive criticism, unless they ask you for advice, I'm not saying don't give unsolicited advice, but if you're going to do that, make sure you do it in a manner which is respectful, okay? Respect all styles. It's hilarious. My my skate fam and I, we were just having a conversation about this. And I'll give an example. So Cali style, if you don't know, Cali style is originated obviously in California. You have the Stacy boots and the fiberglass wheels. Really, really cool stuff. One of these days, I'm gonna get into that style. I ain't quite there just yet. I'm gonna focus on my Cleveland, and my snap. But like, what happened was apparently at the Skate World Series. I think it was at the Skate World Series. One of the things that Cali style skaters do is they get this like circle going. It's like they're literally in a circle and they're skating. It's really, really cool. Like, you got to see a video to know. Try to look it up on YouTube, worst case scenario, Instagram or TikTok, because I noticed that there are not a lot of skating videos you would think that would be on YouTube. So hopefully this is kind of a way to start bridging that gap and getting more skate content over here. Who knows? We'll see. But it's like a little circular thing, and like they're in a circle and they're skating around the rink, literally in a circle. Not like, one person, but like a group of people going like this, like in a sphere, if you want to call it, kind of. I hope I'm saying it right. I feel like I'm not, but if somebody can explain better in the comments, please do so. I'm not sure if I'm doing a good job. Anyways, the whole point is somebody ended up getting in the middle of that circle. And let's just say a couple people were highly upset that took place because you didn't ask permission, right? And I think even if you are a Cali style skater, you still want to ask. Why do I say this? I say this because respecting styles means a couple of things. Number one, obviously don't get out in the rink if you don't know that particular style. If they do a style call for JB, which if you don't know, JB's from Chicago, don't go out doing JB. If you don't at least know the bare minimum, and I say the bare minimum to be on a basic level, don't go out there. If it's a skate party and you're not at least on the intermediate level, don't go out there. You know what I'm saying? Same thing for Snap, same thing for Cleveland, Detroit style, St. Louis style, ATL, Cali style, whatever. If it's a style and you are not familiar with it, don't go out there, all right? Now, obviously, if it's an all skate and the DJ says, all right, ATL, I got you, stay out there because he's not doing he or she is not doing the style call. They're just simply saying, hey, I got something for y'all. Or if you say, all right, Cleveland, I got y'all. Or, all right, NYNJ, I got y'all, right? And there's two reasons why you want to respect the style call. Obviously, you want to respect everybody. But number two, you don't want to make yourself look like a fool. And I'll add a third bonus one. You don't want to cause injury. So if you don't know a style, you can have a whole bunch of people doing some stuff, and then you not know what you're doing, and then you could end up hurting somebody because you don't know what you're doing. And this is regardless if you're a beginner, intermediate, advanced, doesn't matter. So please respect all styles. I feel like I'm missing something. If I'm missing something, drop a comment below. Hydrate. Self-explanatory. Drink plenty of water. Electrolyte drinks to get your electrolytes back in your body. If you're like me, you might be a sweater when it comes to skating. Even if you're not a sweater, you are working out. So you have to stay hydrated, okay? Now, I know some of y'all might be like me. You're like, man, I don't like using the bathroom at the rink. It's annoying. And so, look, I get it. Use the restroom before you get to the rink, okay? And it doesn't matter. Even if you don't like using the restroom or public restrooms, you got to stay hydrated, okay? That's important. Stay hydrated throughout the session. Yeah, I can't express that enough. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. It took me 2 times to read that to understand that, but I'm going to break that down. I'm going to say it again. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. What that means is when you take your time learning something new, learning a style, learning a technique, learning a move, and you really break it down naturally, you will progress a lot faster as opposed to someone who's trying to rush through the process. Like I said before, time and time again, I do Cleveland freestyle. I had to recently actually go back to some of my basics because there were certain things, fundamentals about Cleveland freestyle that I was trying to rush through, right? And I still find myself having to slow things down and go back to the basics. And now I'm noticing that I'm slowly but surely starting to accelerate to the level that I want to get to. You want to know why? Because I'm taking my time with it. When you take your time with things, you are able to project yourself to a level that you probably didn't expect to get to. But when you rush the process, much like anything in life, you will always have to go back and learn the fundamentals once again. Or learn it in general because you skipped a step or two. That's why it's so important to make sure you cover all your bases. I like to use this analogy. I've used it on this channel before, and I'll use it Again, because it makes perfect sense. For my 80s and 90s babies, y'all know that, and even my late 70s babies, right? Super Mario, the original Super Mario on Nintendo, right? You know that when you play Super Mario, the very first one, that when you get to the second world, or it might even be the first world, I can't remember. I think it's the first world, or it's multiple. But you get inside the castle, not Bowser's castle, whatever that castle is, Koopa Castle, I don't know what the name of it is. Whatever, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But it's a little castle thing, the little underground thing. You have an option to where if you go high enough on the bricks, all the way at the top of the screen, you can go past where the exit would be to take you outside, and it's a little secret area where it's called a warp zone, where you can go to levels 3, 4, 5, or 4, 5, 6, or 6, 7, 8, depending on what world you're in, right? A lot of us used to do that to try to beat the game easily. But let me tell you what happened the first time I did it. And there's a reason why. Stay with me. There's a reason why I'm saying this. I know I'm dragging this out a little bit, but it's going to make sense. The first time I ever did it, I was on World 2. I got to that part. It was like Zone 4, World 4, 5, and 6. I went through World 6 and I'm like, oh, shoot, I get to skip a couple worlds. Boom, bet. Did it. World 6 had me jacked up, dog. When I tell you, I didn't know what the heck I was getting into. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And you know why? Because I didn't go through Worlds 3, 4, and 5 to build up. And I ended up missing some fundamentals, some enemies I had never seen before that would have been in the previous worlds that I would have knew how to handle. All right? So why do I bring this analogy up? I say all that to say this. When you take your time and do it right, it makes it easier for you to accelerate. When you don't take your time, you try to rush through, you miss fundamental things. That will be the difference between you being a good skater and a great skater. All right? So keep that in mind. I know that was a little long, but I wanted to make sure I put that out there because all skaters need to know that. All right? Practice on both sides. I love this one. I love this one. And the person who, Mrs. Zabata, she was the one that did that. Shout out to her because this is important. You always have a dominant side and a non-dominant side. But the best skaters that I've ever seen, they still have their dominant and non-dominant side, but they know how to maneuver both. I know, like, for example, for Cleveland freestyle, when I jump or even with my pivots, it's easier for me to go to my left than it is to go to my right, which is weird because I'm right-handed, but hey, go figure. But yeah, practice both sides. If you're not so good at turning to your left, spend a couple, like 30 minutes to an hour just working on your left pivots or just doing whatever on your left. If you're not so good on, jumping to your right, jump to your right. If you're not so good at doing one maneuver, I always tell people, I think whenever you go to a rink or do an outside session, give yourself at least 30 minutes to 45 minutes to just work on what you are challenged at. If there's 3 hours at a skate session, right? Work on some things you're not so good at, right? And then for the rest of the night, go out and have fun with what you know. But if you spend at least 30 to 45 minutes working on things that you're not so great at, what it does is 2 things. Number 1, makes you feel accomplished because you're like, you know what? I got a little better at this. But then number 2, it helps build you up for next time so you are at a different space, right? I've even gotten to a point where there are some sessions where I literally won't jump until after the slow set. And the reason why I say that is because footwork and slides, especially slides, footwork I'm okay, but slides are not my strong suit. So what I've been doing as of recently is focusing more so on slides when it comes to skating as opposed to jumps, because jumps, that can easily be fixed for Cleveland freestyle. Footwork and slides is where the magic happens, in my personal opinion. All right? So that's about it. Those are all the pieces of advice. I don't think I missed anything. Let me just double check and make sure. Yep, I covered everything or was able to condense everything the way I needed to. Again, thank you so much. I know this video has been almost 20 minutes and counting. It probably will be 20 minutes by the time this video ends. But I appreciate you coming through and checking us out. And once again, I appreciate you guys for really checking out the Skate Life Series 2.0. It has been amazing. I've tried some different things. Some things have worked out very well. Some things probably could have worked out a little better. It seems like you guys really like the vlogs. So I'm definitely going to be posting more vlogs in the future. So definitely stay tuned for that. Just to give you guys a heads up, there will be no traditional Teachable Tuesdays video next week. I might post a Teachable Tuesday shorts. The reels are still going to be coming. But yeah, we're going to take a little bit of a break because we're going to be jumping into our next series real soon, which is, and I have my paper right here. Oh, okay, cool. So it's the Relax series. So the Relax series will be starting on June 4th. All right. So again, no traditional Teachable Tuesdays video next week. There will still be content coming out. It just won't be a full-length video. I really thank you guys for your support. Really appreciate y'all. It's Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. And one more thing I want to add. If you're thinking about skating just based on watching these videos, go to a rink near you if you have a rink. Or if you don't have a rink, order some skates. Just don't order them from Amazon. Much love. Talk to you guys soon.